Good morning, everybody, and welcome to What's Real in Real Estate, where we talk about what is really happening in the real estate market here in Las Vegas and all around the world. And if you haven't been under a rock, you know the real estate market is wild, crazy, and somewhat out of control. Just got back from a fantastic trip to Washington, D.C., where we had our legislative conference. And I'm telling you, the outlook is, the forecast, everyone is talking is just positive, positive, positive. You know, you hear a lot of folks talking about the market crashing. I read so many articles. These people probably never even owned a home, but they're talking about the market crashing and the bubble bursting and all this stuff. Let me take a minute and talk about what we learned and heard from the leaders from Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, and all the leaders in the industry were in Washington this past week. Think about this. We go back to 2008, 9, 10, 11, when the market did crash and the bubble did burst. 78% of all homes were underwater nationally. Currently, it's 1.9%. It's nothing. All right, let's put that aside. Back then, people were buying ARMs and interest-only loans. So you pay your payment, and then all of a sudden, a year, 2 or 3 or 4 later, the price jumps up, maybe doubles, and all of a sudden now, that home that you've been pulling money out like it was an ATM machine is worth maybe half what it was worth. So you say, you know what, my payment's doubled, my home was worth half, I'm out of here. And they walked away. And of course, they destroyed it on the way out. Today, people that own their homes, we have a very small percentage of people that are using ARMs. They're all traditional mortgages, whether it's conventional, FHA, or the greatest loan of all, of course, VA. So let's say a person's paying $2,000 a month in their mortgage, and the market starts dipping. It starts going down a little bit. They're still paying that $2,000 a month. Well, are they going to walk away and go rent the place for $2,500 or $3,000 a month? Probably not. So there's nothing at all that anyone can see with any common sense that there's going to be any kind of dip, crash, slide, anything. What we're hoping, and we're seeing it now, is that appreciation goes from 25, 6, and 7% a year to, we're hoping, single-digit appreciation. But right now we're seeing it's probably closer to 1.5% a month or 18% a year, which still is high, but it's better than 26, 27%. So we're definitely going in the right direction. Our numbers are up. Our inventory is higher than it's been in 2 years. And the only thing is our sales are not slowing down. People are still, the demand to come to Las Vegas is unbelievable. And you consider all the things we have to offer, why wouldn't you want to come here? Speaking of things we have to offer, let's talk about Neal Portnoy. Neal, welcome, man.
Thanks, Ellie. Nice to be here.
Good to be here. I've known Neal for gotta be what? How long have you been in town?
6 years.
I've known Neal for 6 years.
Yeah.
I met you early on when you came to town.
When I first got here.
Yeah, you and Dorothy.
Yep.
And these are just, this is what makes Las Vegas great. Great people from around the country coming here and parking themselves here in Las Vegas. What motivated you to move out here?
Entertainment capital of the world. I mean, that's what I do. I lived my entire life in the Boston area. And it got to a point where, everybody was undercutting what I was doing. The market was changing. And I'm like, I got to up my game. So we came to Vegas 6 years ago. I literally knew one person. And 6 years later, Portnoy has become a verb.
It's interesting. We're going to talk about how people can get Portnoy later.
Yep.
But you're a great networker. I'm from Detroit. I knew nobody also, but 17 years ago. But networking, tell everybody out there who doesn't understand how important networking is for people that move here.
Oh, it's crucial. It depends what networking you're doing. You can get into that business networking where you are meeting business people, and then you start weeding it out. Are those the people that I need to know for what I'm doing business-wise? Then you get into the business networking, you get into the social networking, you get into the entertainment networking. We, in the 6 years, have kind of dwindled it down. Our close friends have changed, from when we initially got here. Some of those groups no longer exist. Other groups have popped up. With what I do, I had to be in the music industry. I had to be in the sports industry. And once you meet one person, of course, look, when I got here, half a year into being here, I got the job at the Review Journal where I was the illustrator. That really popped it. I mean, now my artwork's in front of, thousands of people every week. Who is this guy? Where did he come from? Being published almost 200 times in 16 months in the newspaper kind of helped. It jump-started it. Dorothy and I, my wife, we're out, 6-7 nights a week, sometimes in multiple places. We'd go one place, let our faces be seen. The key in Las Vegas is you got to get out and meet the people.
Yeah, absolutely. Because everybody's from somewhere,
Yep.
and we're all trying to accomplish the same thing: build a network of friends and business associates. Let's go back to the sports scene you talked about for a minute, because this has become the sports capital of the world. If it isn't yet, it's sure becoming the sports
Very
capital
quickly.
of the world. I mean, we've got, we have the Raiders, we have the Golden Knights, we maybe have baseball coming.
You have
Looks
the
like
Aces, you have the soccer,
Aces, we've got lacrosse, we've
yep.
got, I'm blank on what it's called, the race car, Formula One coming.
Formula One is coming.
Yeah, and
the
we've
draft
always
is
had
here
that.
now. You've got the Super Bowl coming in
Super
2
Bowl.
years.
In 23, we've got the not the final four, the second round of the NCAA tournament is going to be
Crazy,
Thomas
isn't it?
at Thomas and Mack, T-Mobile.
T-Mobile.
Nothing wrong with Thomas and Mack. I
Well,
love
you
that
know
place
what?
too.
We're getting more and more venues being built.
Yeah.
They're talking about the south side of the strip. They're talking about the north side of the strip. Where did this land come from? All of a sudden, there's 14 acres. Well, I didn't see 14 acres. I guess I don't know the size of 14 acres. And they'll buy up the property. And then you've got a new resort hotel being built. A new, look at the Sphere.
Oh my God! Yesterday, when I was watching the football frenzy at down half a million people, they had a picture of the Sphere in the background. And I've been watching it go up. I drive down. I'll take Spring Mountain across town sometime.
Yep.
Man, that thing's going to be fantastic. For those of you who don't know, the Sphere is the first of its kind. It's a round building. It's partnered with
Madison
Square
Square
Garden.
Garden Sphere. Yeah.
It's for for concerts and shows. The outside will be a screen where they can broadcast anything they want. And what I heard, what I found to be the most amazing part of it, is you're sitting in a seat next to me. You speak German. I speak French. You hear it in German. I hear it in French.
Yeah.
Guy next to me hears it in English. It's unbelievable.
Well, the technology inside the Sphere is going to be incredible. It's going to be top of the line. Also, the outside, Vegas is known for the lights. You can see these big billboards, these big TV screens that are, 12-dimensional, to lack of better terminology. This you will be able to see from space.
Yeah, isn't that something?
That's crazy.
I know, it really is. Let's talk about Portnoy Galleries. Now, I've seen your work. You do this, by the way, I don't have to build this guy's ego up, but I can't help but tell you that his work is unbelievable. I mean, I've seen your Tom Brady. You've done talk about some of the famous people you've drawn.
A funny story. Somebody said, you met Larry Bird, you met Tom Brady. No, they met me.
There you go.
Listen, they're no different. I'm no different than the common person has a 9-to-5 job. That's what I do for a living. As a former baseball player, my background was always sports. I kind of, moved to the sports industry. They're regular people. I mean, last night I was on Channel 8 with Chris Matthews, the sports director, during the draft, and we were in the Cosmopolitan 37th floor. This is a guy who doesn't like heights, so I'm getting interviewed on the outside, thing that goes around, and, you hold on to the rail, 8 feet away, and I'm not looking down. So it's crazy how, what is it, 2.3 million people or something like that?
Yeah.
But it's a small town.
It's a small town.
Everybody knows everybody. And the sports is, I have no formal training in the art field. I work in a medium that is extremely unique. It's felt tip magic markers. Yet you look at the breathtaking final
Let's stop for a minute.
products.
I want people to hear that.
Yeah.
Neil draws with felt tip magic markers.
Yeah, you smell
That's it.
those for 10 minutes, you'll be just like me. Yeah.
And you've had Portnoy Galleries now for how long?
I've been doing this professionally 50 years, but we've been in Vegas 6 years. We just expanded to 3,200 square feet of gallery space. There is almost 600 works of art on the walls, all mine, and there's probably 6,000 originals in all my flat files that I've never put up.
Talk about your connection with the Raiders. Wasn't there something going on with the...
Yeah, I have the largest work of art inside Allegiant Stadium. It's 28 by 40 feet. It's called The Raiders Through the Years.
You drew that?
I drew an original drawing, 18 by 24 inches. Black, white, and gray, all marker, featuring, 70 some odd players, the greatest names in Raiders history. I did it before they got here. I did my homework. I knew they were coming. And then I started phone calls and emails and, hey, look, you guys got to see this. I think this would be great blown up in your stadium. But, the whole works. Well, he didn't hear anything. And then got a phone call from Michael Goddard, who's the rock star in the art industry. Excuse me. Also, the curator of the world's largest art exhibit inside Allegiant Stadium. And said, hey, that Raider piece, we want to give you 12 cents for it. Well, I'm not going to take 12 cents. Well, I'll give you 18 cents. And the negotiations started. When you're dealing with the NFL, you can't give them your contract. They give you their contract. So you have to make a decision. Do I want to be in front of millions of people for the next 20 years and take a small fee for it? Absolutely.
And where's it located again?
In the Switch Lounge.
Yeah, I saw it. I was at a couple games. I saw it one time. I thought it was just fantastic.
Yeah, if you go into Switch Lounge, you go up the escalator, that whole wall, 28 by 40 feet. Now, 18 by 24 inches, original high-resolution scan, and then it's basically wallpaper. How big do you want to make it? How small do you want to make it? Once you have the original scan, you can blow it up and you can reproduce it. They're talking in the future of doing a limited edition signed and numbered by me and the athletes to raise money for charitable foundations, which I'm very involved with.
Yeah.
You know what? It's a gig. I'm a gig worker.
Yep.
I don't have a 9-to-5 job. Whatever comes in, that's my next gig.
Yeah, no, I get it. Who were some of the strangest people? Maybe you probably can't say that, can you? Who were some of the strangest people you've portrayed?
Jay Leno. I did a piece with Jay back in 1987 before he got
Boston.
Back in Boston before he got the Tonight Show gig. Doug Flutie, great guy. Rob Gronkowski.
How was Gronk, man?
He's a big boy.
Yeah, he is.
6'7", 280 pounds. Excuse me, I had him sign one of the prints of the drawing I did, and he looks at me, this is the truth, he goes, can I have one for my mother? I mean, they're kids.
Yeah.
They're big kids. You got to remember, I coached college baseball 15 years. So these guys are no different in age than guys that I coached for 15 years.
Yeah.
They just have a lot more ability.
Where's the gallery located?
1537 West Oakey Boulevard, on the corner of Oakey, and Western. Boy, these allergies are killing me.
I know, me too. Pollen this time of year. What about you got events? You have a party on Tuesday
We do.
nights.
Every second Tuesday of every month, we started a new event at Portnoy Gallery called WHAM, Wine, Art, and Music. And we partnered with Las Vegas Winery for wine sampling on that night, second Tuesday every month. We have, of course, all the artwork you get to view in the gallery. And then we have the greatest entertainers in the world, all the local talent, wanting to play Portnoy Gallery. It's crazy. We charge $20 at the door or online when we post the event, and we'll have 80 to 100 people in there, and the money goes to pay the entertainers. And we partnered with the Tyler Robinson Foundation, which is Imagine Dragons, pediatric cancer, and a portion of the proceeds benefit the charity.
That's great. Well, people that don't live here don't realize. I didn't realize until I got out here. Some of the greatest talent in the world is playing off the strip.
Well,
there's so much talent here. You can't fill.
There aren't enough
only
venues.
So many rooms.
There's not enough venues. But you'd be surprised who lives here.
Oh, I know.
International stars. They live here because of no state income tax. You know how that goes real estate-wise and financials. But they travel and work all over the world. And the local entertainers are all world-class. Play with them. When Lady Gaga comes in or Sting comes in, they're not bringing their own bandmates most of the time. They're working with local entertainers. Now, for instance, at the Grammys, we have a friend, Serena Henry, brilliant singer. She sang with Carrie Underwood. She was one of the backup vocals. So that's what happens here in Vegas. they're all doing multiple gigs, maybe 2 or 3 a night. That's how they make a living.
And you go out in the suburbs. We don't live far from each other. I'm in Sun City. Neil's out in Desert Shores, and we go. I'll see you at Miller's, or we'll go up
Sure.
to the Summit.
Yep.
And for $10, or Miller's is free, but even go to the Summit for $10, I'll see some great blues.
Oh, the
great
unbelievable!
jazz.
Unbelievable. Hey, we're in the entertainment capital
Entertainment
of the world.
man. Yeah. What are some of the craziest, or maybe even scary incidences you've had with drawings? Anything?
Not really that comes to mind offhand. Last night, for instance, I had to do Brandon Marshall. I did an illustration of Brandon Marshall. So that was like the first time I'm working live. I'm not in my studio at the gallery on my drawing board. I got a portable setup. I got markers I brought in a bag. I got my highlights, and I had 90 minutes to do a Portnoy caricature from photographs of Brandon Marshall, which we presented him. Now, talk about being under the gun. Those take 2-3 hours. I had 90 minutes to get this thing all done. So leave me alone. Let me do my thing.
What got you into drawing? Were you always into art?
Since 5 years old.
Okay.
When my baseball career ended, I tore my knee up. I became a statistic. What am I going to do? I have no college education. I'll go work in a sporting goods store. I'm a jock. And then somebody said, well, those funny cartoon things you do? I said, yeah. Well, you can make money with those. Come on. Really? I went out and did the Londonderry Fair in Londonderry, New Hampshire, 3-day art show, made $300 in cash, and I went, whoa. And
You
that's
found a
where it
career.
started. I found a career. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I've been to the gallery, and we're planning on coming the second Tuesday this month in May,
nice.
because we haven't been there in a long time.
Well,
and
we
I'm
have
looking real
Sandy
forward to it.
Nights, David Ramirez, Sandy Night singing, David Ramirez on drums, and Keith Neal on guitar. It's going to be a great night.
And I know we both like Joe Bonanno.
Yeah, Joe's going to be there one of the nights. We're booked right through the end of the year.
That's great.
Everyone wants to play because it's like playing in your living room. It's not a bar.
Yeah,
Yet we have wine.
yeah,
It's fun.
yeah. No, I've seen Joe at Miller's, and he is just a fun guy.
He is the first guy I met before I moved to Las Vegas. We came out, Dorothy and I. We stayed at the Boulder
Station?
station, because we didn't know where, we didn't even know where we were going. We went down to the Kicks Lounge, and there's this guy playing guitar, and he's phenomenal. So we got to meet him and say hi. 2 years later, because it took 2 years to sell our house, we went down to Boulder. We saw in the newspaper, Joe Bonanno. Gee, I wonder if that's the same guy. So we walked in, and he spied Dorothy, and I go, Neil, Dorothy, you sold your house. Welcome. And we become
he's fun.
friends.
He's fun. So I know you're a sports freak.
Yep.
I assume it's all Boston.
No.
Tell me. You got to be a Red Sox fan.
I'm a Red Sox fan. I'm a Patriots fan. I'm a Celtics fan. But I'm a sports fan.
But are you a fan of the Bruins?
Sure.
Okay, so yeah.
All four, yeah. But
So-
I love the Raiders.
Patriots are playing the Raiders in the NFC Finals. Who are you rooting for?
The Raiders.
All right, man. Me too.
Raiders, yeah.
Okay, people have asked me Lions. You're like, I don't have to worry about it. The Lions aren't going to beat any kind of.
Well, they
Super
had a
Bowl.
nice draft. They had a nice draft.
Neil, they've
first day
had
of the
more
draft.
nice drafts in the past 30 years than any
No,
team.
it's all right.
I hope there's a turnaround, but someone brought it up yesterday too. I said, look at.
I remember the
They've
old
had more
16
top
bags
10
on the
picks.
head. Remember that? The bags and the paper bags in the head? What,
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
16.
sure.
I remember those.
Yeah, we have had more top 10 picks in the past 30 years than any team in football. So it doesn't mean everything.
It's Detroit.
I know, man. Oh, man. It just drives me crazy. But if the Lions were to play the Raiders in the Super Bowl, I'm telling you all out there right now, I'm all in Lions. I have to be after all
Well,
these years.
listen,
What it would do for that city would be just unbelievable.
look at the last year's Super Bowl with Cincinnati and the Rams. People, even though the Rams were a better team, Cincinnati came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And the Raiders gave them a great game in the
Yes, they
first
did.
round. They could have gone further. And even though, you want Matthew Stafford from Detroit now with the Rams to win his first Super Bowl, you kind of looked at Cincinnati and went, pretty good.
It was a great story. They had a great year. And I'll tell you something. I am, the over-under on, I like to do a little bet now and then on football.
I don't bet at all.
The over-under is 8.5 for the Raiders. That
It's
means
not bad.
if you think they're going to win 9 games, you take the over. If you think they're going to win 8 games, you take the under. But I think they're going to have a great year this year.
You
Devontae
know what?
Adams.
Josh McDaniels, the new head coach.
You know him from back east.
I know him from the Patriots for years. I've never liked him as an offensive coordinator. I thought his play calling wasn't the best. I don't really know how he's going to be because remember he had his first gig as a head coach in Denver with the Broncos and failed miserably. So
we'll find out. He claims he learned a lot from that. I hope he did because he did have a tough.
Yeah, I learned a lot from my first 2 marriages. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit more about Vegas and first of all, tell everybody how they can get Portnoy.
I work from reference photography, so the better the photo, the better the drawing. I usually give people my disclaimer, which is management not responsible for the way you already look. Kind of covers me right off the bat. But, there's a fee involved because obviously this is what I do for a living. It's once you get Portnoy, once you get that portrait caricature, it's yours to use however you want to use it. So you want to do business cards, put it on your business card. When we're little kids and we're growing up and Saturday morning came, what did we do?
Watch cartoons.
We watch cartoons. You get older, you read the front page, you read the sports, you read and watch the comics. So subliminally, since early childhood, we're kind of trained to look at cartoons. So I tell people in the business world, if you're doing a billboard, test it out one day. Drive on a highway. Any kind of billboard that has any kind of animation, what do? You turn and you look at it. So once you get Portnoy, utilize it.
Yeah.
Reproduce it. I'll show you how you can make money by using it.
Yeah, you mentioned the paper. I do glance at the front page, but all I really read is the sports section and the comics.
And I got to be honest with you. I came from the Boston Globe, which is probably the best sports newspaper in the country. And we have the Review Journal. And not to say anything bad about the writers, because the writers are great, but it's not a very good sports.
When I first got here, I thought it was better 17 years ago. But it's not, it's all I've got. So I read it. And I like to read local stuff, but it's not like it's.
But didn't you enjoy when I was the illustrator at the RJ and they had me doing
was
sports
great.
illustration?
Yeah.
It gave the people, the locals here, what's Neal going to draw next? Who's he going to feature next? I changed the whole look of the newspaper, and they eliminated my position.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it was fantastic. Let's talk a little bit about, before we forget, how can people get a hold of you if they want to call you?
They can go to PortnoyGallery.com or Neal at idrawpeople.com or PortnoyGallery.com. There's ways to reach out to us. Okay. 702-685-2929, 702-685-2929.
I always like to ask guests to come on the show, but especially a guy like you get out and about a lot. What are some of your favorite restaurants in town? We got a lot of great food here.
I like Pin Cow. Have you been to Pin Cow?
No, what's it called?
Pin Cow. It's on the corner of Lake Mead and Rainbow.
Oh,
it's Thai food. That's our favorite place. We go there a lot.
Okay. You got a favorite show in town?
Well, out of town guests, Bronx Wanderers, you can't miss out. It's a great entertainment show. It's one of the best shows in Vegas.
That's what I've heard.
The Bronx Wanderers. You could go to, excuse me, you can go to Tuscany Gardens, which is East Flamingo.
Kenny Davison?
Every night, 7 nights a week in the Piazza Lounge, free entertainment.
Yeah.
The best entertainers in Vegas.
Fantastic.
Tonight you got Kenny Davidson. Sunday night you got Rita Lim. Tuesday night you got Michael Grimm. Wednesday Ashley Fuller. And the list goes on and on and on. You can't miss out. And it's free.
No, it is great. It's great. And one other thing people don't think about when they think about Las Vegas is all the outdoor activities we have. Mount Charleston, Red Rock, Canyon, the Valley of Fire. You got any favorites?
No, I'm not an outdoorsy person. No, you know what? My favorite outdoor location is the ballpark.
Oh, yeah.
Get me to watch baseball. And it's a beautiful ballpark.
Isn't it a great ballpark?
It's a great ballpark.
I've been there a couple of times already this year, and I guess, I can't watch baseball on TV like I used to. It's just a little too slow for me. But I tell you what, that's what I love about going to a ballpark. There's nothing like being at a ballpark.
Well, I get peanuts as soon as I get there. I find peanuts,
and
always. I make a mess of my seating
I don't care
area.
what game. I'm always pouring peanuts on the ground. I love peanuts at the ballpark.
It's baseball.
When I was a kid, we used to go to Tiger Stadium, and you'd walk up. My dad and I would. There were vendors outside the stadium selling fresh roasted peanuts, the little brown paper bag for 50 cents. Now you buy the peanuts that were roasted 20 years ago, but they're still great. I love peanuts in a ballpark.
2095. But at Fenway Park, you got to have the sausage sandwiches. You got to have the hoagies, I guess they call it in Philadelphia. It's a grinder, but it's sausage, peppers, Grease City, but you got to have it. That's part of the tradition.
That's the one thing about Las Vegas ballpark I'm a little disappointed in. I love, we used to go to Cashman Field a lot.
Yep.
And you could get a big beer for $3.50 at Cashman Field. Now I think it's $12.50.
See, I don't drink, so that doesn't bother
Well,
me. Give me water.
go get a hot dog. Go get anything. They have major league concession prices, and that's a shame. The tickets are cheap, but the concessions do kind of jab you a little bit. But hey, listen, they got to make a living too.
You want to do something in Las Vegas for our listeners and our viewers, 7 nights a week, 24 hours a day. What do you want to do?
You got it.
You got it. You can do
whatever
anything
you want to
want.
do. You can do. That's exactly right. Listen, we got to wrap it up. I can't thank you enough. We could talk for hours. You got so much to talk about.
I got a lot of stories.
I'm just thrilled that you took the time out of your busy day to come out. I know you're jammed.
That's a pleasure.
And I know I'm going to see you out and about somewhere. We saw you over at Rocco's. Saw you over at Rocco's a couple weeks ago.
Great pizza.
It is very good pizza. Yeah, no doubt about it. I just had it. Broke Passover with Rocco's.
Oh, nice.
I do love that.
My tradition, every day when I get home from work and I get home, I take a pizza matzah with cream cheese and pour the cream cheese on, fold the matzah, and then break it in fours. That's my snack every day.
Snack.
Every day.
Good stuff. Beta, thanks again for a great show. Neil, thank you, my man.
A pleasure, sir.
Give
Always
the best
a
to
pleasure.
Dorothy for me,
I will.
and I look forward to seeing you around town, buddy.
You got it.
Thanks. See everybody next week. Thank you for being on. Bye-bye.